Carta, but that's okay.
I'm resident of Collinwood for YouTube. Jules Sains, that is Tom Diamond, that is Vicki Ray. We're here to review the Time Tunnel. This episode is about Robin Hood. The boys are still back in time, and they get themselves in trouble very quickly here.
Yeah, men in tights.
Yes.
I mean, you ever notice that Doug just always is in the wrong spot all the effing time?
He is. He's like
he's just
Probably winds up in the dungeon or in the woods.
Well, no, he just stands there. They act like it's normal, just like they're gonna whip some, 9th or 20th century stuff on them, chemistry and stuff like that. I just couldn't stop laughing. I really enjoyed this episode, though. You got the reign of King John, so immediately you're thinking Sheriff of Nottingham stuff, Robin Hood, everything. But you never think about Robin Hood and his band of merry men, helping to sign the Magna Carta in 1215. It was a nice little, literary, historical satire-ish spin on it. I thought it was there's a few actors in there I noticed too. Who was
the only
that?
thing was when they at the end,
the guy who played Friar Tuck, that wasn't Donald Heron, the guy who played Robin Hood, was a Canadian actor. John Crawford plays Sir Fitzherbert. He was in a lot of westerns. And Dee Harford, that was driving me nuts. That was the lady in waiting. She was kind of bitchy. I felt like throttling her. Didn't you want to bitch slap her for some reason? She just rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know why.
I like the guy who played Friar Tuck the best.
Yeah, where have I seen him before?
He's the one that he'd hit you with the stomach and knock you out. I thought that was pretty good. But if you notice at the end of the episode, they don't change into their original clothes. They vanish with their leotards on.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
They must have forgotten something there.
I just kept thinking of Robin Hood, Men in Tights, just kept going through my head every time I see those leotards come out. Because I don't really think they wore those. I guess they wore them to some extent, but they never looked like, nylon.
Look like ballet dancers.
Yeah. But they had some good stock footage, though. They used the Revenge of Robin Hood. But the thing, I kept hearing cannon fire and gunshot, which we all knew in the 1200s. We didn't have that yet. So I thought that was kind of funny.
I thought the episode was pretty.
Carta was a big deal.
I thought the episode was pretty tight, pretty well put together.
I liked it.
Although,
I thought it was kind of fun, actually.
Although Vicki caught some stuff with the what was it with the movie clips they were using.
Oh, I'll be to look that back up. The thing is, they kept using they were using different horses and different scenes, like from Ivanhoe kind of like stuff, and they had different showing of different armies. And like I said, you could hear cannon and gunfire. But there was no medieval evidence of Robin Hood ever taking part of the Magna Carta. And they used the legend of Robin being the Earl of Huntingdon. That only was developed in the Baron, the baronial leaders, developed in late medieval time with that. But it seemed like they really heavily leaned on Sir Walter Scott's Ivanhoe on this. And I think they even used, this was just like total Ivanhoe as far as I was concerned. Not Robin Hood. I was expecting more Errol Flynn-ish kind of, but I kept thinking of Robin Hood. But they did force John basically to sign the Magna Carta, negotiating greater rights for nobles. I always like how they always negotiate better rights for their nobles, but nothing of the peasantry, It's just like peasants. Sort of like now.
And for the only episode they ever had, they had that cylinder that materialized on the wall. Where
Oh, they kept moving that around too. What was that thing called that they sent back? Oh God,
I forget.
Well, you know that mechanism. It was supposed to help them get back.
And then when they finally got
thing
it,
kept moving around a lot.
It didn't work.
Supposed to be. And then they kept having large-scale horseback columns and mass troops repeatedly shown recycled film material, but they were different armies. But I guess I wouldn't have noticed that unless I was looking for it. And because after we've been doing this for 10 years, we're all anal retentives, and so we look for that shit now. I don't know. What about you, Joel?
I love the sword play.
Oh yeah, that was actually I like that too.
I'm a sucker for great sword fighting movies. I own both 1948 and the Musketeer movie with Christopher Lee, the Three Musketeers.
Oh yeah, that was one of the.
Christopher Lee did a Robin Hood movie.
No, the Three Musketeers.
He
did Three Musketeers, and one of my favorite sword fighting movies of all time is The Duelist, which was Ridley Scott's first movie. And so I've watched Robin Hood movies before. I've seen Ivanhoe, I've seen Robin and Mary with Sean Connery. And I've seen the one with Kevin Costner.
I like that version. A lot of people don't talk about that movie. You're the first person I've ever talked to that's actually watched that, where they're older, Robin and Marion.
Yeah, it's good, actually. It's a good period.
With Audrey Hepburn.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad. With Audrey
Hepburn. Yep. It's good. It's very, very good. But with this here, I love the sword fighting. I love the set designs. The costume designs are fun. They're just colorful.
Yes, they are.
They're fun. The costumes pop huge, like the green of Robin Hood's. What Tony and Doug are wearing.
It was a real colorful episode as compared to the last few, where you had the Cold War stuff. It's all gray, clinical.
Yeah, they're really livening the costumes up here with the excitement and the danger. Robin Hood gets injured. I just can't get over what Tony and Doug are wearing.
I know. I was laughing too because I don't know. It's just the leotards, I guess. But I'm immature.
There was stuff that reminded me of the Errol Flynn Robin Hood with Rathbone, like the fight between Little John. There was a fight between Little John that I'm blanking out on, but
no, Little John and Robin Hood initially fought over the bridge, and they fought with Standard, but they had Tony fighting Little John in this one. And that Little John, he also appeared on he was on MASH, but he wasn't Little John. He was recognizable as Ugly John.
Yeah, Little John from a video gamer who played Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Little John, buddy, you can go to hell.
But the whole plot centered around Little John having a flesh wound and being taken to.
He recovered really quick for taking an arrow almost to the heart. At the very least, he should have had a collapsed lung.
Yeah. And here Tony gets this thing out of the cabinet. It looks like an Old Spice.
That's what I was trying to figure out what it looked like. They were probably bottles of Old Spice. My grandfather had those things all over the place. Do they even make those like that anymore with those bottles?
I know that was funny. That was funny. You took it out of an Old Spice can, but we do see the development of the fact that Doug has knowledge of basic chemistry and how to put things together, and that's something that hasn't been shown in the prior episodes.
Before I forget to ask, what is he a scientist? Is he or a consultant? What is he?
Doug is a physicist and a consultant. and a consultant to the.
Okay, well, that would explain his chemistry knowledge.
But he was
Remember
the
when we were
director.
little? I don't know about you, but my mother used to buy me chemistry sets back in the day. They came in metal things. I could have made a damn meth lab with that shit back then. You can't get that stuff no more. They never sell those
Oh no!
chemistry sets
Yeah,
anymore.
that's right.
I mean, you can make bombs with that crap. I mean, you just look it up in the Sears and Robot catalog, and boom.
Well, you
Literally,
had
I start
Mr.
laughing when I think about that. The shit that we could buy when we were kids. Oh my god, how funny!
Mr.
Life has
Wizard.
changed.
Remember Mr. Wizard? You used to have those chemistry sets
Yeah,
that were in the
yeah,
supermarket. You can get
yes,
them for $10, and but too many kids drank poison
yeah, yeah. It got
from the
dangerous.
thing, and they had to cut that out. But I think of Jimmy Jet. One of the things that I always resented my mother. I wanted Jimmy. Jimmy Jet was a toy that was out in the '60s where you had basically a monitor of. You had a film of the plane taking off and stuff like that, and you're being able to run the Jimmy Jet against enemies and all that. And I was 8 years old or something, and she didn't want to buy it for me. And I was really pissed off.
Well,
Ten
if I
bucks.
could get you one, Tom, I would get you one.
$10. $10. Some things you never forget. You can forgive, but you can't forget. But the chemistry set, and and that was also the parody of the chemistry set was on Big Bang Theory with
Yeah,
Captain with Bob Newhart's character.
yeah.
I forget what his name was. Captain something or other. But Sheldon got his chemistry set, and
Sheldon,
this,
yeah.
this is what set him off. That kind of thing. I'm thinking of Captain. My mind is wandering. I'm thinking of Captain Proton from Voyager, but that's not. That's not the same
No.
thing. That's not the same thing.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
Tony almost gets executed again. Do you think this is like they're always almost getting executed?
exactly. Well, I'll tell you. I think they got. I think they really got away with murder there, because Tony, in the fight with Lil John, had he was totally outclassed. Lil
Yeah.
John could have cracked him over the head, and then he said, "Oh, I like the way you fought," that kind of thing, and took him in. But that did remind me of. There was a little of Errol Flynn's Robin Hood, but certainly there was no Olivia de Havilland.
No, no.
That's for
I was
sure.
expecting some beautiful
Me too.
matronly, whatever, maid,
Not an
something.
old broad like that.
Well, some of us are old broads, but
She was an
you
old
expected
broad.
it. She was such a bitch. I mean,
She
she
was
was
an old
was
broad.
her whole point, her whole purpose was to be a snitch.
They probably put her, and they put her in the dungeon at the end. You
Yeah, did she
know,
ever come out? You didn't see her again, did we?
I would have liked to have seen them torture her in the dungeon. That would have been fun. But
Yeah, racking and all that other good stuff.
they
Medieval
almost.
torture. Can you imagine? It'd be such a deterrent to crime these days if we weren't humane.
I know. I know.
Stop being nice.
Yeah, there was.
So let's see. What else? Oh yeah, they're whisked away in the middle of the battle as per usual. They never get to see. They never get to see any of their outcomes.
But they do see the Magna Carta being signed.
Yeah. Can you
Yeah.
imagine? And I mean, I would be totally wowed in the time tunnel, and while everybody's watching all this stuff, I mean, that would be so cool. I love history so much. That would just like be a dream come true.
It would have been interesting with that cylinder that was supposed to bring them back. If somebody else touched the cylinder, like one of the guards, or even what's his name, the Earl of not what's the guy who signed the Magna, King John.
King
If
John.
King John had actually touched that, and then he was transported into the future, they had they could have had things that they could have dealt with, which would have made the episode
It was
a
a
little
homing
better.
post. It was a homing post.
A homing post. Thank you. It would have made the episode a little better if King John touched the homing post and he was hurtled into the future.
Yeah, boy, that would have definitely broadened his horizons.
That would have been something to explain.
I really thought something like that was going to happen. Somebody would get blasted back, but that didn't happen.
Man.
But King John seemed like he kind of reduced into something like a cartoonish kind of villain, though. He didn't really have a whole lot of nuance, you know.
Thought the music was very good. I thought the music was.
I was trying to figure out, was that music from Irwin Allen, or was that music, that they borrowed?
That sounded like Errol Flynn.
Didn't that sound like the Sherwood Forest, like Olivia de Havilland, Errol Flynn movie?
Yeah. That's what that sounded like.
Well, they had a couple of scenes from there, but not many. They really took from the other. But Friar Tuck, I really liked Friar Tuck.
Oh, I liked him. I liked him with the stomach. In fact, I mentioned to Vicki, I go, is this the one where the guy hits him in the stomach and he hits his enemies in the stomach and the guy bounces back across the room? I thought that was a pretty good way to use him. And what do you think? I would give this episode a 9.5. I didn't, I mean, there were some.
If you want to get nitpicky, you could say solid framework, entertaining enough. Some of there's so much of it. You could either like give a 6 here and a 10 there. Entertainment wise, absolute 10. I would give it a 10. They actually did really good with the continuity this time. They were internally consistent. They used a lot of stock footage, though. A lot of stock footage. And then did you notice they abandoned the homing post towards the end?
Yes.
I mean, that just never came up again.
You never saw it again.
No.
You never saw the homing post again.
But I mean, it was one of the funner episodes because there really wasn't, it was
a romp.
Long enough like the Alamo was tragic and everything. We knew people
right.
died. The Cold War was awful. We knew all that. But this was kind of fun,
This was a romp.
They had siege sequences that were staged though with explosive-like effects. And it kind of made you feel like there was mortar fire going on. Did you guys catch any of that?
Mm-hmm.
And Robin is dressed more like a courtly baron, in his Lincoln green. But I thought he would be more of the outdoorsy looking, like, you expect him, they're living in the forest, but I guess it's Hollywood. I always have to remember they're telling a story and not being bitty.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. I believe this is the green outfit, that this is where Nintendo got the concept for Zelda's outfit.
You think?
I think so.
I never would have thought of that. Yeah, you might have a point there.
So, well, here's the thing. I mean, when you listen to like Nintendo's like music lineup, like their music and games, their inspiration is heavy metal. If you've ever played Final Fantasy VII and you hear the Turk theme, that's they take Alice Cooper's Blue Turk and they use the melody from it. So. But this gave me flashback when the whole Little John thing fighting on the bridge. You fight Little John on a log and Robin Hood Prince of Thieves, and he's a pain in the ass to get past.
Oh my God, that was the best Little John Robin Hood fight though. Was it the Kevin Costner version? Because he really was giving him a lot. That was a great, whoever played, I can't remember the actor's name, but he was one of the best Little Johns. Maybe, I mean, Kevin Costner, the problem with his movies, he wanted more time with that because of the seasons changing to get certain things, he just didn't have enough time. He wanted more time for that movie. It was still good. It's like I really loved it. It's like one of my favorites.
Sure.
I really enjoyed it. But I also like the old ones, Ivanhoe, and you just, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves with Errol Flynn is always going to be the ultimate classic when it
Well,
comes to
Errol
that.
Flynn is definitely in Basil Rathbone.
Yes. Yeah,
Which
Basil Rathbone. I just love him as the villain in anything, or
he
the
was
Hound of the
great.
Baskervilles. It doesn't really matter. It's all good. But he's
He
such,
was
but he's
great, and
such
he
a.
was
But who
able to.
was it that played him in oh God, he died too. But the Kevin
Basil
Costner.
Rathbone
He
was
was
able to
funny in
cross
Kevin
the.
Costner's version.
Basil Rathbone was able to cross the typecasting because he was Sherlock Holmes on the one hand,
Yeah.
and
You
he
would have thought
was
he'd been pigeonholed, but he shined. He was an excellent actor. I've always loved
he
Basil
was
Rathbone's movies.
son of Frankenstein. He was
Loved it.
Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Yep. He was quite a marvelous actor, and that he was able to transfer from one thing to the other. Well, what scale would you give this one, Jewel, on a scale of 1 to 10?
I give this one a 8.5. I enjoyed the action,
Mhm.
just the pure
Enjoy the
action of this, and the colors of the clothes too. And I love
action.
the dungeon sequence.
Yeah, it was
Oh
colorful.
yeah, that looked almost real when that guy held that hot iron in front of Doug's face, and you really thought he was gonna hit him with it.
Well, some of the
Uh,
swords and spears, if you notice in the close-ups, were kind of rubbery and theatrical looking. No, I caught some of that. Again, I'm nitpicky. I know I'm a nitpicker.
I know, and it's true. And then the idea is what the Magna Carta was all about. Magna Carta was supposed to be for people with land
Yeah.
and free people, and not the riffraff, so to speak.
Well, it
The
took
riffraff.
many months of political,
Hmm.
whatever to get that. It didn't just happen. And they never did drag actually Prince John to Runnymede or King John to Runnymede. But I mean, they did kind of stick it to him. You better sign this or everybody will revolt. And that's
Hmm.
how, they did kind of stick the Magna Carta to him that way. But really was a very big historical move for Western thought process anyway, politically and
Sure,
otherwise.
sure. And the main thing though was that it was for landowners,
Yeah, not the
and
peasants. Not
yeah,
the peasants.
exactly. And that's something that wasn't brought out in the time tunnel. It's like it's for everybody. But again, you can forgive them that. It's a swashbuckling episode. There's another swashbuckling episode coming up later on, which is kind of interesting, more traditional. But this was these were also done by writers who I don't think ordinarily associated themselves with the show, and I think it was very apropos that they did that, and nobody wound up in the tunnel in this episode, and that's another thing I would have liked to
I
have
just love
seen.
how everybody just adopts them into whatever revolution they fall into. Just like, oh yeah, two more life warm bodies. Let's use them. It's funny. It's sort of like Timeless. Timeless was a little more, I don't know, fluid. So
It's funny. It's funny. So you give it an 8.5, Jewel?
Straight up, I give it an 8.5. And here's a question for you guys: what's a movie you watch to get in September to get you ready for October for all the horror movies?
all the horror
Hmm.
movies. Oh God, what haven't I watched? I've been watching some of the new stuff. I've been watching some of the old stuff. Well, my friend Joe loaded a whole bunch of Hammer films and Vincent Price stuff onto his Plex so we can all enjoy it. So I mean, probably
Yeah.
you know what? Like my go-to comfort horror film, A City of the Dead with Christopher Lee. That is
There
one of
you
my, it scared the dog shit out of me when I was a little girl.
Huh.
that I am Elizabeth Selwyn. That just put me under when I was a kid. And the fact that they stole that girl, you know, and they sacrificed her. That was some scary shit when you were a little kid back then. You know, everybody's kind of immune to that kind of feeling about watching movies like that now because we're so used to violence, you know. We're so desensitized. At least I am. I can watch anything and eat. Nothing bothers me anymore except eyeballs.
Yeah. What about
That's
you,
right.
Tom?
Can't do eyeballs. No, to be honest with you, I'm
Halloweens, all the Halloweens. Jason,
Yeah.
Freddy.
Yes.
I stick to the
yes.
classics on Halloween.
Yes,
I really don't know if they're having anything. Don't tell me they're having another Halloween movie with.
They promised they wouldn't.
They
It said
promised it.
Halloween ends. When Halloween ends, I think they really actually meant it this time, don't you, Jules?
No.
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 You think they're going to get one more out there?
Well, no. Well, here's the thing. They're supposed to develop a TV series. So
I saw that. I did read about that. Yes, I did.
So that's going to lead into a movie. So
They're also going to develop a
give her a
Buffy
whirl.
the Vampire Slayer TV series.
Yeah.
And they're bringing her back.
Yeah.
They're
She was
bringing
doing a
Sarah
wolf
Michael
pack.
Gellar back.
She was doing a werewolf series. What was one season? It was getting kind of good. I don't know if they're going to revisit a second season.
The three movies I watched to get ready for October, The Dead Zone with Christopher Walken.
I remember that.
Great film.
Yeah, great film. The Bride of Frankenstein, which I own on Blu-ray. And
Bride of Frankenstein, the old one.
Yeah, the black and white one. And
okay.
Spirited Away is the three films I watched before October.
What one's that? Spirit of what?
Spirited Away.
Have I seen that?
Studio Ghibli.
Yep, Studio Ghibli movie.
All right,
look it up. It's really, really good.
Good job.
I will.
It's
Spirited
really,
Away. I
really,
probably have seen it. I just don't remember it. I've
It's
seen
about-
some. I mean, there's so many movies. There's no way I could possibly watch all of these.
it has good horror elements in it, and it's about this girl who is basically a brat, and she gets pulled into a world of ghosts, phantoms, and all sorts of craziness.
Spirited Away.
Mm-hmm. Her and her family get caught in this other world.
Wow.
It won Best
The
Picture.
2001 film. I don't think I've seen this.
It's really good.
I might have to watch this. I always looking for new ideas. Besides, I got to still find because Daryl Dixon started. I was really not happy with The Walking Dead the last few seasons, but these spin-offs are actually pretty good. So
Yeah.
the zombies are totally off the hook now. They got zombies that do all kinds of weird shit.
There you go.
French zombies, Spanish zombies. We got European zombies now.
Yeah. Is Sunday good?
Culturally acceptable zombies.
Is Sunday good for you guys for the next episode?
Yeah, unless something massive happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next episode is pretty good in terms of they go back to the World War II era, and the plot gets a little more personal, which is in a way which is nice. Can we do this? Because Vicki and I were talking. Can we do this on Monday nights from now on instead of Sunday at 8 my time? How are you for that, Jewel?
Monday.
I'll do whatever y'all want to do. I'm good.
I can't do every Monday night at 8 because that's a school night for my kids.
We're just keeping it Sunday next week. I'm sure we'll be good.
Yeah,
do Sunday.
If we could do Sunday, I could do, but Monday's a little like I squeeze this one.
Tight for you. All right, let's do Sunday then.
Sorry.
Let's keep with Sunday.
Sorry,
Sunday at 8.
Yeah,
Sunday at 8 my time.
Sundays are good.
Vicky's time.
Sundays are
good. Sound good, Vicki?
Sounds good. Yeah, I should be good.
And remember, every Monday is Michael Myers Monday.
It is, especially during spooky season.
Yes, every Monday.
We shall talk about everybody's favorite spooky movie once before Halloween.
Yes. We'll do that. We'll do that in October. You guys have a good day. Good
You
or sorry,
too,
good night.
guys.
Good night.
I
I'll
will
see you.
try.
Take care, guys.
I'll
Bye,
see you.
y'all. Be
Bye
safe.
bye.